Good evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
And I'm fucking perplexed.
And you're watching Examining Cinema. So I think for me, subjectively, not objectively, there will be blood.
This is right? Okay. We've got There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
We've got
Wake and Fried.
Bronson.
Eraserhead.
Wake and Fried.
Yeah.
Eraserhead.
What are we talking about? Greatest films of all time or this film? Blended?
Literally, the credits have just finished, okay? That's where I'm at right now.
Just sat down and watched.
This far into a bottle of scotch, and the credits have just finished. So that's where I'm at. I haven't even processed this yet.
I watched the film for the third time, 3 nights in a row. Done
Jesus fucking Christ.
an extreme amount of research and watched a lot of YouTube videos about this.
That was a fucking movie, man.
You've just said
that was a fucking movie.
How good was it? Was it not amazing? So yeah, I think for me, subjectively,
It's got everything. It's got everything.
Oh, it's amazing! It's amazing!
It's black and white. It's got a fucked aspect ratio. It's got massive amounts of homoerotica. it's like the ambient bass synth sounds. It's got fucking everything.
It's like a
The dialogue.
Oh
dude, my god!
The acting. Every frame a painting. Every frame is a painting.
What the fuck was that?
It's brilliant. Okay.
Oh.
I think subjectively, There Will Be Blood for me is still the greatest film of all time. Maybe.
Yeah.
But this is number 2.
This is definitely a high point.
Objectively, like The Godfather and Citizen Kane, they're fine films. But this is better. This is amazing. So yeah, you talk about aspect ratio and black and white, right? They didn't film this on a modern digital camera and then in post-production put color grading over it and change the aspect ratio. They actually filmed it in old 1930s black and white film.
Yeah.
So you can't do anything once you filmed it. That's it. What you've got, you've got. There is no color footage. With like 1930s vintage lenses. And just the contrast in it. There are so many scenes that are just lit by like one bright light. And the lighting is so fucking crazy. Like, as someone who enjoys the image of film, there were so many shots where like, I should have been enjoying the story, but the atmosphere of the film was dragging me in so much. I was looking at this frame lit by this one bright light.
There's a scene,
like,
there's one scene in particular where you can see the lighthouse and he's pushing a car up a pathway, and just the way it's lit and the way that the black and white imagery worked, and it looked all squashed. Like the image, it was just so oppressive. Every fucking shot, even though they're like an open island in the middle of the fucking ocean, everything is just so like oppressive and fucking. Oh, that's the other thing that it had. The slow descent into fucking madness. I have a list of films that I adore that seem to follow that trend. Wake and Fright, There Will Be Blood, Apocalypse Now, and Taxi Driver. Guru God.
The protagonists all start off relatively stable, then they just descend into this madness, and for some reason that resonates with me so highly. I love it. To just watch your main character just spiral in, and the movie in general.
Just into chaos.
Yeah, it's right.
It reminded me by the end. I was actually reminded a lot of what's that fucking Netflix movie with the crazy bear that calls out in the kid's voice? What was that?
Fucking Alien.
That one.
Done by the guy who made Ex Machina.
Yeah, just because the way the way it ended. I don't know if we're getting to that part yet, but like the way that movie ended.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way this ended
Completely ambiguous. It felt very lovely.
But also like it ended on a focal point of light. Like both movies ended on a single focal point of light.
Annihilation?
I think that might have been it. Yeah.
It starts with an A. Yeah, it feels very Lovecraftian to me, but whereas Lovecraft would have been like, it's an alien or it's an entity.
Well, that's the problem with trying to translate Lovecraft to different mediums.
Yeah, but this is just like, I don't know, how accessible is this to the masses? Like, if you sat this down to the average show, would they be like, this is brilliant?
Well, this is an issue that we've discussed privately, and we don't want to shit on people, but can you show this to Mark?
I'm gonna have to at some point. I mean, he needs to see it.
That's fair.
But I don't know what Mark would take away with it, or like your parents. Or Ashley or Jerry or like
I don't know.
I would hope this is completely accessible to the average human, and they would sit down and go, "This is a work of art."
Is a Razorhead accessible?
No. A Razorhead is barely accessible to me.
Us, yeah. That's fair.
How good are David Lynch's weather reports?
Oh, have you been watching?
Every day.
Switching the blue filter in and out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something's gone on. Like I said, there's always messages, right?
Yeah.
There's always like, did you see the David Lynch
there was
theater thing?
Yeah, it was like a little animation.
I don't know what that is.
What is that? Does that have anything
I don't
to do with
know.
weather reports? I'm waiting for it to spiral into madness. But maybe
hopefully
it won't.
it's slow. Hopefully it's slow.
Well, it's been like
be really slow.
a week and a half.
Over like fucking 2
years.
Yeah.
God, I love David Lynch. He's like 90, but I just hope he lives forever.
Yeah.
And does these weather reports.
That's fair.
Good morning. It's May 26, 2020, and it's a Tuesday. Here in LA, beautiful blue skies, not a cloud out there, golden sunshine coming along.
I guess the main talking points are like atmosphere and tone rather than narrative.
There's a narrative there.
Oh, and what I always talk about is pacing. Like your escalation or the rate at which you move into the tension-filled moment, it can make or break a film. And this has a great arc. It starts off immediately and you're like, what the fuck?
So okay, what is the narrative? Like, what actually happened?
Yeah, well, there are several surrealistic moments which didn't happen, I guess, according to me.
Which ones didn't happen? Which ones did happen? I think the easiest way to explain away this film is to say that two guys are running a lighthouse.
Yep.
The system gets a seagull gets into their water system and poisons the water. So they don't have any drinking water. A storm comes, they get stranded on this island, they don't have drinking water, so they're trying to find whatever they can drink, which is alcohol. They only have alcohol. They run out of alcohol, so they start drinking the kerosene from the lighthouse, from the actual lamp of the lighthouse.
And it just spirals into violence.
Yeah. That's the easy way to explain it away. There's a whole bunch of things that happen within that where it's like, did the original keeper get murdered or not?
Because I love
Was there a mermaid or was there not a mermaid? Was there like which hallucinations were real? There's a scene where where fucking William Dafoe is fucking charging him with an axe, and then in the next scene he's like, you've been trying to fucking attack me with an axe.
Your bad-mouthed old Thomas saying you're on here with an axe. It's not true. And you're like, at that point as an audience, you're like, wait, did he?
Yeah, which
or
one?
didn't he?
Which is the reality?
And the filmmaker who made The Witch and who was like 36 and this is his second film and I hope goes on to make... I hope he's like the next Tarantino. At this point, I'm like, I will follow your career till the end.
The Witch was an amazing fucking film.
That was his Reservoir Dogs. This is his Pulp Fiction. Let's see his Jackie Brown, his Kill Bill, his Death Proof, his Inglourious Bastards, his Django and Let's just see what happens next.
Okay.
Yeah, he has just said, it's not about the answers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a 100% fair. I'm absolutely on board for that.
Yeah, and all those bullshit YouTube videos that are like, ooh, the ending of this film, what did it actually mean?
Yeah,
it's like, fuck off. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to mean anything.
It's the light in the suitcase in fucking
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, well, it represented this. Okay, maybe it did, but fucking
it's not. That's not.
Just leave it up to the audience. Yeah. So we have this grindy, crazy, tension-filled atmosphere, and the acting is amazing. Robert Pattinson, who was in Twilight, he was like,
all right.
He was the vampire,
maybe.
I don't know.
Who cares? When he's talking, he's really quiet to begin with. But then once he starts to get drunk, he starts to talk and he just does he goes into this accent. He drops the persona. Like he's an actor who is acting as a person who is putting on a persona. And then as he starts to get drunker and drunker, he starts to drop the persona. It's just fun. It's great. It's so fucking good.
There's like this crazy grindy arc that escalates from the quiet lumberjack who secretly murdered his boss and assumed his name and is now sober, but then begins to drink and then reveals his secrets and then just spirals into madness. So his acting is brilliant. He goes through the gamut of every human emotion ever with incredible intensity. There's a scene where he's dancing, right? He's like,
just fucking freaking out.
Yeah, and they're just it climaxes and hard cuts to them slow dancing.
Yes.
And I was just sitting there like, what the fuck?
Hey, come on, you boys, what do here? How are we going to the woods last year? Into the same we just started. These are put in a big dog.
Willem Dafoe is...
Oh my god. It's like a fucking Shakespearean play. His dialogue is amazing.
Yeah. His dialogue is very old English, Shakespearean, monologue. Yeah, it's not naturalistic until it is naturalistic.
Well, it kind of is natural. He doesn't break character, but he's talking.
And at the beginning, because I guess there's 15 minutes before any dialogue is spoken, just building up the atmosphere and the world.
There will be blood.
Yeah. We've talked about the aspect ratio and the black and white, right? And then he speaks, and I was kind of like, is it too much? Is it going too far? Then 20 minutes later,
they just lean into it. They lean into it so fucking hard. Okay, this is where we're going.
This is how he talks.
Yeah.
This is how.
Literally, this is him.
Yeah.
He's a fucking mad bastard.
I mean no mind, lad. None. Fix us up some coffee. Long night ahead. Drop of coffee will do us good.
He's crazy and he's insane and he just hounds fucking Winslow's character so much, and at the beginning he's the arsehole and I guess at the end he's still the arsehole. And Robert Pattinson's character is the protagonist, but he's
Winslow
warped
Thomas.
and
They're both Thomas.
They're both Thomas.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck! I was waiting for it to come out that when he started to say that he's Thomas, I was waiting for it to come out that that they were both the same person all along. That's where I thought it was going to go. It didn't go there.
No, it's rather. I don't know, would you say it's rather simplistic storyline-wise?
So it's two guys, it's literally just two guys trapped in a fucking lighthouse.
That's it. 2 actors, 2 characters.
That's it.
And a mermaid, maybe. I'm gonna pour the rest of the scotch into both glasses.
That's it. That's the whole film.
Yeah. Two characters trapped on a lighthouse together. Their refuge doesn't come. Their food is spoiled, and they drink.
So there is a story, and like I've just watched this fucking film. I did not know what I was in for. This guy's done all the research. This is the 3rd time he's sat down and watched it.
It's
whatever.
amazing.
But there is a story. What are you doing? Just fucking pour it. Just pour it in.
I feel like you're the Winslow to my Thomas.
Why are you gonna like measure it like some fucking homosexual?
Well, speaking of homosexuals, did you watch this film?
There was a lot of masturbation.
Like 3 masturbation montages.
Just like I like my black and white films.
Filmed exceptionally well with ample intensity.
What was I saying? I was saying something about fucking something.
The movie.
Fuck, it was a good movie. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was saying. So there is a story about like a lighthouse where they went mad and they all died. That's a thing that happened historically. I haven't gone and looked up what that story is. I have that rolling around in my head.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see how much this film is inspired by that true story.
Yeah.
Because my understanding is they were in that circumstance. There was a storm. They were trapped in the lighthouse, and when they came to find them, everyone was fucking gone.
Yeah. So as far as I know, there is a story historically in the late 1800s where 2 people on a lighthouse island, both named Thomas, obviously based on this kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know much about that, but there was a storm, the ship didn't come, and one of them ended up dying.
Okay.
There's another one, early 1900s, where there were 3 people on this lighthouse station, and the ship rocked up to pick them up, and they were just all fucking gone. Theoretically, a wave knocked all 3 of them off of a cliff into the water.
There's lots of some really interesting ones. I was reading an article the other day, and this is totally off topic.
That's fine.
But I need to calm down a little bit about these. I think it was in like Canada or something like that. They were snowed in. What had happened was that was a bunch of kids who were mentally challenged.
Okay.
And they had attended like a local basketball game, and no one saw them after that. And once the snows had thawed, they found it was like fucking 5 kids or some shit, and they found 4 of them in and around this cabin.
Yeah.
And one of them they'd never found.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they were saying is like one of the kids that they found his corpse inside the cabin, and he had apparently starved to death, even though the cabin was like full of like tin supplies.
Yeah. So
and it's like, okay, well, what the fuck happened here?
Unanswered, eerie, mystic.
There's another really good one about a bunch of very experienced alpine hikers in Russia, and they were coming up through a pass, and from what I remember, what was found on the pass was their tent. It had been cut open. Yeah. And then fucking, hundreds of meters away from the tent, they found the occupants. Yeah. And they had like their tongues ripped out and their fucking eyes eaten and shit. And the investigators theorized that was animals that had done that. And they'd come through this whole process of like theorizing about what might have happened, because these people were the report, and this was the interesting one. The report says that they were compelled to leave their tent for some unknown reason. Yeah, so they'd all had left. They cut their way out of the tent rather than use the front door, and got out of the tent in like fucking Siberian weather without proper clothing on.
Yeah.
And frozen to death.
Yeah, there are a bunch of amazing stories like that about like early and recent history, which is so compelling to us just because the questions, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I guess
in that one there's a theory that like they had a home built stove that they'd made.
Yeah.
They had that in the tent and it had malfunctioned and filled the tent with smoke. They'd gone to sleep. It filled the tent with smoke. They started freaking out. They couldn't find one of them cut away.
Yeah.
That was a theory.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
But yeah, it's compelling because of the questions and the mystery, I guess. And those stories are happening less and less recently because of
you got mobile phones. You
and fucking CCT and fucking drones and telephones and all this. But yeah,
we need more death and madness in the world.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
For the sake of our media. But yeah, it is fucking super compelling to have these fucking odd, weird fucking mysteries. And yeah, this is like an old 18th century sea shanty type of story. We got the whole mermaid thing going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the idea of just people on a lighthouse.
So there's a bit that there's one piece of this film that I don't understand.
Okay,
Okay, there's literally one scene. It doesn't make sense to me.
Fair enough.
Okay. Right at the beginning, what's his name? Not William Dafoe's character.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson's character.
Robert Pattinson's character. What was his name?
Winslow.
Yeah. Winslow goes up into their shared bedroom.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a bed and there's a mattress rolled up on the bed. And he unrolls the mattress and he sits down on it. And there's a constant like water sound of water falling in the room.
Yeah.
There's a post. It's beautifully fucking shot because there's a fucking post right in the middle of the shot, so you can't see a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And there's this sound, and you go, "What the fuck is making this?" Like, no. It's like a water sound. It's like there's the sound of water falling, and you're going, "What the fuck is making this noise?" And he unrolls his bedroll, and then it's William Dafoe standing behind the post, next to their bed, taking a piss, in the chamber pot, right? Like that's what, and he farts. That's a constant theme throughout the movie. Is William Dafoe farting.
Goddamn farts.
Right. But then he sits down on this mattress that he's just unrolled. And he immediately finds a hole in the mattress and pulls out this little
like mermaid
sculpture.
Yeah, made out of wood.
Is it wood or is it ivory? I thought it was like whalebone. I think it's a whalebone sculpture.
Yeah, it could be either or. Yeah. I mean, like you could say it was the previous occupants of the lighthouse who went mad.
It was almost like he knew it was there. When I first saw that scene, I thought what they were setting up was that this was not William Dafoe, fucking, what's his face?
Robert Pattinson, Winslow.
Returning to his dormitory. Like, that's what it seemed like. Like, that was something he put there.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. That's the only thing that didn't make sense.
Yeah, so I mean,
everything else was ambiguity,
but
like
there are so many moments that are set up to pay off later. Brilliant.
But I understand ambiguity.
Right? Absolutely.
So I can the mermaid scenes. Was the mermaid real? Was the mermaid
he's
not
sexually
real?
frustrated. That's the point. Yeah, he's sexually frustrated.
But yeah, it was just that one scene. It was like, wait, did he know that was there, or did he not? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't have an answer.
Did he sit down and feel it?
Feel the bump? Yeah, we didn't see him physically. Yeah, but I mean, Old mate Willem Dafoe, Thomas, talks about the previous Lighthouse assistant going mad and he had no scene in him and just like losing his mind. And he talks about him like seeing a mermaid and falling, pretty much going through the motions.
The same. Well, it's set up the whole same.
Yeah. So yeah, it could have possibly been his. But also when you talk about like framing and how everything is framed, they built everything. The lighthouse and the cabin and everything on this island, was specifically built for this movie and within the idea of this is the aspect ratio. And like, we can't frame this like it would a normal movie. We have to build the sets to be able to frame Dafoe and Robert Pattinson sitting at this table, living in this room, the urinating, the post. Okay. And coverage, the term coverage refers to when an event happens. Like you think about a big Marvel cinematic action event, you set up like fucking 6 cameras and you have the action sequence transpire, then you got fucking 6 angles. But this movie cost like fucking $6 million.
Really?
Yeah, man. It was such a low budget fucking film. Dafoe in several interviews has talked about the fact that there was 0 coverage. Like, it was planned out for every shot and every angle.
Exactly how it was going to work.
Filmed on this crazy old school film grain and film negative with these 1930s lenses. So if like they missed it or they didn't get it or they didn't understand it, like they were fucked. So basically every shot was set up and filmed and planned out with the premise of what they had and what was going to happen. And if it didn't work out on the day, they were fucked. But it worked out.
It clearly worked out.
Yeah. Pre-planning prevents... Wait. Preparation prevents piss poor planning? Something like that.
Performance. Piss poor performance.
Yeah, some old Navy thing. And yeah, there's this constant foghorn throughout the film. Which just like twists the film this
That's so good,
surreal
so
immediately it's just like ding, and it cuts to the aspect ratio and you're like
cut that in throughout this whole
because it's cut out throughout the film. And the director talked about how many times can you put it in before people walk out of the cinema and how many times can you keep it in while it's like disorientating and irritating and builds the tension. It's like that balance, and it happens a lot.
It's there a lot.
There are dialogue moments where like you're compelled by this dialogue happening back and forth and it's like in the background. But yeah, I don't think they went past the point of irritation.
No, it was great.
But some other people might say, what is this?
If we sat my parents down to watch it, I think they might have issue with the amount of there is in the
I feel
background.
like they get 20 minutes into it and be like, what is this?
Dude, they couldn't handle Birdman.
Birdman is like a straightforward, conventional brilliant drama.
I know. They could not handle Bird because it was like, can he fly or can't he fly?
Oh, like the...
Yeah, they couldn't deal with that level of ambiguity.
Which is pretty subtle. Even this is pretty subtle. Like there is a clear and pointing out narrative.
They couldn't handle. They got to the end of it. This was a fucking terrible movie. Why did you suggest this to us?
I hated Michael Keaton before I watched Birdman. Yeah. It was just when you're young and your preconceived notions are biased because of X, X, and X. I don't know. I didn't like Michael Keaton at all.
Fair enough.
And then I watched Birdman. I'm like, this guy's amazing. Edward Norton is amazing. What's her name? The chick. They're all amazing. That film is like...
Well, I'd say it comes back to like the idea of actors. Well, I said early on when William Dafoe first sort of came on, I said, that's the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
It's like that's a terrible film. That is a fucking horrible film.
Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
By Sam Raimi.
Yeah. It's a fucking... So, you got to put the actor in the right environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Willem Dafoe is a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
We've just seen it. Robert Pattinson, he was from fucking Twilight. He was
Yeah.
Robert, Jacob.
Who knows?
He was the vampire.
Who cares?
But yeah, I mean, they can obviously fucking act.
Yeah.
And there are several moments where it's like, it's like a Shakespearean monologue where it's like, it's giving the actor the opportunity to just act. That can be like pretentious. This whole fucking thing could be pretentious, but...
It probably is.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably a good chance that it is fairly pretentious.
Yeah, like even just the aspect ratio.
Yeah. It's black and white. It's probably pretty fucking pretentious.
Yeah, the dialect and the accents, which were researched fucking heavily. I looked through like linguistics of old school like sea shanties and like diaries of lighthouse keepers and all this and all this. Same with fucking The Witch. They went through like old English dialects and like how they actually spoke. And this film was far easier to understand than The Witch.
That's
The Witch.
fair.
I mean, I don't think you've seen The Witch for a while, but The Witch was like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
This was pretty straightforward, but still, like, it has that flair. You're like, oh my god, the language is so
They're speaking
beautiful.
in the language that they're supposed to be speaking.
Yeah.
It's not like a bunch of English guys pretending to be Arabs in fucking Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah. Alec Guinness, Sir Alec Guinness, painted black, playing an Arab with a big fake nose.
Yeah. They come across as like genuine timepieces.
Yeah.
Even though they're so fantastical.
Yeah, well,
And it's kind of like it's that fantastical nature that allows you to sort of suspend your disbelief and put yourself into that time period.
Yeah, part of you is like, this is so like realistic and grounded and I'm so within this atmosphere and this world, and the other part is like, this is so fantastical.
I have no idea what the fuck is actually going on.
Yeah, like myths.
Wait, is he throwing?
tales.
Was he wielding an axe or was he not wielding an axe? Who's like, there's so many scenes. How long has it been since they missed their boat?
Yeah.
In fact, that was the point where where William Dafoe's character actually asked that question.
Yeah.
How long have we been here?
We in here 6 weeks or 2 days, lad. You dog.
I don't know.
There were so many monologues by fucking Willem Dafoe. I was just like, so... He kept on calling me a fucking dog.
A dog, you dog.
You lying dog, you haven't washed
You
us."
murdering dog.
I was like, yes. Yes.
Sir,
What?
I mopped and swept twice over.
You lying dog.
So basically, the tension and suspense ramps up amazingly, and then it's much like The Shining, I guess. He murders him with an axe. There's a scene where Willem Dafoe is buried, right? And they can...
He's got to give the monologue while he's being buried. That was a great scene.
It was amazing. And yeah, they constructed it so as they were burying him, they'd throw like dirt on his chest and then cake crumbs on his face, and it just didn't work at all, and it looked inconsistent, and he's like, just bury me. So you've got like this Hollywood actor like throwing
Getting fucking
dirt
buried.
on his face as he's reading this epic Shakespearean monologue and swallowing dirt. He just said, I swallowed fucking a kilo of dirt.
Ancient, beautiful, and unchanging. As the she who girdles round the globe. Things true. You'll be punished.
It's just so fucking great. There was also this, the shoot apparently was fucking miserable. I looked at the days of the shoot and it was only like 48 days or something.
Oh, really?
It just cost like $8 million and
Yeah.
it took like 48 days to film. I'm like, oh my god, can you not make more of these films?
Yeah, well, that's the question, right?
Yeah.
Because they're cheap, they're fucking, they're so amazing. Yet they make fucking Marvel movies.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad, which cost $400 million and was fucking hot garbage. So
White hot garbage.
yeah, so the shoot apparently was miserable, and there was actually a lot of on-screen tension between Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and
It's like the There Will Be Blood and the fucking original dude who
he quit.
Yeah, he quit.
He's like, I can't do this. So yeah, apparently Willem Dafoe wanted to like go into rehearsals and rehearse it and get it down, so he knew the dialogue, he knew the beats, he knew exactly what to do, and Robert Pattinson wanted it to be free, like in the moment do it. So like they had this conflicting fucking thing. And then, you know, they're living near to the set in these fucking
horrible
huts.
conditions.
Yeah, and the weather was actually legitimate.
You're on like a shitty little island in the middle of fucking nowhere. This is not a nice place to live. There's a reason why humans don't live
there. Yeah,
in
on the
places.
coast of the fucking Atlantic fucking ocean or whatever. There's a scene where Robert Pattinson is walking with a fucking wheelbarrow and he's kind of going insane. He's like, like licking up the fucking water.
Yeah.
And there wasn't rain on that particular day, so they're like spraying him with a fire hose. And he said they did 7 takes, and by the end he wanted to fucking punch the director. So there are all these like, real life moments of tension where they're all at each other and living in these shitty huts under these shitty circumstances, filming this shitty movie. Which just made the performances. It's completely believable at every point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Human suffering is what we enjoy.
Yes. So yeah, at the end, I mean, we don't really need to talk about it or comment on it at all, but he kills Defoe and he goes into the light and he opens the light and it's so Lynchian and like his scream is like distorted.
How good was that scream,
It's so guttural
but the image that goes with the scream, his head's thrown back and he's like, I don't know, there's like I don't know if it's an artifact of the way they filmed it, but like his mouth looks like it's
white.
distorted.
Yeah. I think the light is so bright and the way this like anarchic film reacts to light. With the
it looks
filters on it
gorgeous.
and the antique lenses. Yeah, it's all
like, poof.
And he just falls downstairs. There's this ancient Greek myth of Prometheus.
Yes, yeah.
Where like he gave fire to the people, then he was punished by being tied up to rocks, and a bird
eats his
liver.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
because the bird eats his
thing.
liver, and then every night it grows back, and then the bird eats. Yeah.
And so he goes up to the light, and then the birds eat him.
Yeah, okay.
And you got like the whole homoerotic fucking themes throughout the thing, which is just building and grinding. Apparently, in one of the original cuts, there was a shot of Robert Pattinson's erect penis, which faded into the lighthouse. And the financiers said, "Can we cut this?" Which apparently they did.
Aww.
It's what we all wanted to see. We never got to see it. But yeah, I think it's just a great filmmaking example of pacing, of tension, of cinematography, of atmosphere, of lighting. The lighting is so original. Acting. And yeah, it all crescendos. It goes for an hour and 50 minutes.
How was the Plinkett review of Star Trek?
I felt so ripped off. Hey, like, we sat down and reviewed episode 1, we reviewed episode 2, we reviewed episode 3, all with the idea that these stories were building to something, And then when Plinkett has the retrospect of 1, 2,
Been
3,
able to do the
4,
whole thing in retrospect.
Yeah, and he goes back to 1, 2, and 3, and he's like, none of it meant anything. None of
didn't.
these storylines.
None of it went anywhere.
Yeah, all the things they said in the early series had nothing to do with what happened. It was garbled.
It was what they did with Star Wars, right? They,
Yeah,
didn't plan it out.
Yeah.
They were writing it as it was happening.
And it amounted to nothing.
Yeah.
And we sat down.
Yeah.
I made 10 reviews.
Yes.
And it didn't build or amount to any, like, just basic narrative. How you construct a narrative.
Because you know why?
Set up, payoff.
You know why? You know why? Because fuck you.
Apparently.
Because fuck you.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking watch it anyway.
This
Who
fucking
gives a fuck?
garbage. You're gonna sit down and review this? None of it means anything.
Yeah.
Picard's talking about fucking Utopia Planitia and Mars and androids and Bruce Maddox and
None of that even fucking made like any
It had
difference.
nothing to
The end of it was literally like the ending of just any other Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
That could have just been the ending that was tagged onto any next gen
It had
episode.
nothing to do with what had happened previous.
You could have set up the whole android planet was summoning the fucking the Antichrist.
It could have been a
in
story.
a single episode. That could have just been one episode.
Yeah.
There was no need for any of it.
It's like they just got like 10 random writers to write 10 stories which kind of tied into each other, but like, I don't know, it's so basic, right? Story writing 101. Beginning, middle, and end. Pay up and set off.
Nah.
Yeah, it was just nothing.
I think
It was garbled nonsense.
I think part of it is that these people who were writing it, and I'm not trying to suggest that I'm any better because I'm not. I can barely spell.
Yeah.
I don't think that they know how to write an episode that fits into a long form narrative. These people would probably be very good at writing like a Stargate episode, right? Where it's like it ends and then it begins.
40 minutes.
40
Beginning,
minutes.
middle, and end.
These people would probably be quite good at doing that. But because they have been forced, because of the way modern media works, into making these long form narratives like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They're trying to emulate that, and they're trying to fit these 40-minute episodes into these long form narratives, and it doesn't fucking work. You have to write the book first. You have to go and write the whole fucking book, and then you can turn that into 40-minute episodes. I mean, you can't write the 40-minute episodes one at a time and then expect them to turn into a fucking narrative.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work that way.
Well, yeah, we talk about The Expanse, and it's like, old mate, one of the writers spent 3 years building up the world building.
Yeah.
And how the world functions, and how the mechanics of the universe
work. Yeah.
And then they started writing the story. And even with this, it was written by, Robert Edgers, who wrote The Witch, and he wrote it with his brother, and he's talking about, they wrote drafts and drafts and went back and forth for like 3 fucking years while he was trying to get a film funded so he could make. And like Picard took a year, and I mean, you just can't rush that. You need to write it and then go over and go, oh, this is garbage, and write it again.
Or you do the Doctor Who, you do the...
And it's completely serialized and cut off and independent.
And that way it's like, some of them are going to be shit, some of them are going to be good.
Well, that was TNG.
Yeah.
You've got like 180 individual, well, I guess there are through lines, but you have 180 individual sci-fi episodes. Some of them are fucking hot garbage. Some of them are nonsensical and dumb and retarded and backwards. Some of them are amazing. But that's going to happen. But if you want to write that, like it took Tolkien 10 years to write Lord of the Rings. You need to spend time and effort, but I guess that wasn't what it was about. It was like, let's get this thing out. We'll put the name of the card on it.
They want both. They want the overarching narrative.
Yeah.
So you'll sit and watch the entire season on Netflix.
God damn them! Why, Chester?
And they also want the serialized nature of paying writers.
Yeah.
right? They want to pay the writers to sit down and just write an episode.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay the writers to spend fucking 4 years writing a novel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that isn't feasible when you talk about some shitty fucking CBS fucking show.
Even though that shitty CBS show is literally Picard.
You think it would be reasonable to spend the time and effort to develop a
If you're going to do it, why not do it properly?
Story.
This was the question. If you're going to do it, why not do it properly?
Yeah.
And
Well,
the answer is...
money?
They're fucking... Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if it made money.
I don't know either. They don't tell you. That's the thing, right?
That's
They
the
don't
point.
say.
Yeah, they don't say this made X money.
Yeah.
Of course they don't, because it'll look bad on the name when it made fucking no money, because it's fucking off.
It's hot garbage.
And yeah, this
Even in the Plinkett review, he had to address the fact that it's likely that a lot of you haven't even bothered to watch this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Plinkett review, it gets to the point where, like, it's tedium, and, like, he's going through every plot point, and, like, he gets to the point where it's like, I'm not going to go through every single plot point and explain to you why it doesn't make sense, because none of it makes fucking sense, because it's all garbled fucking nonsense, which is fucking backwards and retarded, and just made for the sake of a quick buck.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Picard.
It was fucking terrible.
God damn it.
Can't wait for season 2.
Look forward to no reviews of that fucking
I kind of feel like now we need to.
I mean, maybe like the first...
It's like a part of my life now.
Watching and reviewing Picard, that's depressing. Look forward to going mad. And carrying an axe.
My cross to bear.
I mean, it's interesting to dissect and review something and why it's not effective filmmaking if, like, you see the conclusion and why it didn't react to the end third arc and why it didn't make sense. But when it's just all, like, inconsequential and all random, it feels like you're wasting your time. Like, we were asking questions. We were like, who was Dosh? What does Data have to do with this? Bruce Maddox? Is Picard retarded? Who are these crew? And then it gets to the end, it's like, you shouldn't have asked anything because nothing had any answers.
None of this had any bearing on the story at all.
God damn you, CBS. And here we get a $4 million film which was filmed in 48 days, which was a piece of art.
Yeah, it was
which
amazing.
I hope will be talked about in, like, film and media classes for the next 70 years.
Could you imagine if Picard was delivering lines like William Dafoe in the middle of fucking Picard?
Well, let's just, like, give Picard to this guy.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Film
cares?
it in boxing aspect ratio.
That's exactly
Film
right.
it in black and white.
Who cares how it turns out? Give it to someone who wants to fuck with it.
Some people are gonna watch it. It's Picard.
Yeah.
Roll the fucking dice.
No, we gotta get like fucking 45 executives to sign off on it before we can fucking put it to print.
We're in the money. It's terrible. We live in an interesting time for film. I mean, this didn't even come out of the cinema in Australia. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see this on
The aspect ratio.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing to see, but it never came
We're
out.
like, holy fuck.
And now they're closed.
I think the line when the aspect ratio came in, I said to Alex, "Is the whole film in this aspect ratio?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said to him, "That's how I like my films, nice and square."
Yeah. I laughed when it first cut to that.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of forget about it.
It goes away. It goes away.
The story is so engaging, and the characters in the world and the cinematography, that you're just drawn into it, and it doesn't matter.
No.
So,
but I would actually argue that you no longer you stop seeing it, but it's not like it's not like it stops affecting you. Like I said, the whole film is so oppressive. And I think the aspect ratio really is what adds to that. They're so boxed in.
Yeah,
They're on this
absolutely.
little
Just
island in this little building.
Yeah.
There's pouring rain, so they can't go outside.
Yeah.
All the scenes inside are so claustrophobic.
Yeah. And yeah, the sets are built around that aspect
Yeah.
ratio. And the birds too. The birds were actual birds.
Oh, yeah.
They went to-
Well, I said, how did they get that shot?
Yeah.
There's a shot of like the fucking
seagull.
like challenging.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they just had one that they were feeding, and it was trying to get food off of them. I think that's what, because you can't. Surely you can't train a fucking seagull.
So they filmed the movie, then they flew to England, and they got the guy who trained all the fucking, owls for Harry Potter, and he had 3 trained seagulls.
Oh, yeah.
And they filmed all the scenes with Patterson and the gulls.
You can train a seagull.
Yeah, apparently owls are dumb as fuck. Owls are like retarded and backwards, where seagulls are actually really intelligent.
Okay.
So yeah, the shots, well, I'm sure some of the shots of the gulls in the sky may have been. I don't know. But the shots with the seagull like acting with Patterson was like the gull acting, and it looks like a gull.
It is a gull.
I remember when I was looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't look like a puppet.
No, yeah, well that's right, because it's like acting.
Yeah, and the way its neck like contracts, and the way its mouth. So
they get actual like emotion out of a fucking seagull.
Yeah, it's acting.
Yeah, it was like, what the Robert
fuck? Yeah. So no, they went to England and they filmed scenes with
a trained seagull.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy who fucking trained the owls for Harry Potter.
Fair enough.
In conclusion, cinema lives on.
Apparently.
3 years ago, you, I, and Steve were like, cinema's dead. Why aren't there any good films? What is happening? The industry is fucked. Everything's retarded. It's all mainstream comic book movies.
Bam!
Streaming services.
But that's how it always is, right? That's how it always is.
Yeah.
Like, you don't plan to come across, like, I remember Bronson was literally, I thought I was picking up a different DVD in the fucking Video Easy
Yeah.
store, right? And I accidentally rented Bronson.
Yeah.
That's how I was introduced to fucking Bronson.
Yeah. That guy is amazing.
That's a
Tom Hardy and the director, Nicholas Winding Refn. I recently watched 3 of his earlier films, Pusher 1, 2 and 3.
Okay.
Which have Mads Mikkelsen, the guy who played Hannibal in the Hannibal series.
Okay.
And he's in a Star Wars movie. He's in Valhalla Rising. He's the Viking guy.
Well, not One Eye.
Yeah, he's One Eye.
Oh, One Eye?
Yeah. And Valhalla Rising is by Nicholas Winding Refn, the guy who made Bronson.
Actually, well, there's another movie. There's another movie. That was a great movie.
That was 3, yeah. So I went back and watched like Nicholas Winding Refn's like Reservoir Dogs, like his indie, low, independent movies. Yeah, it's fucking great. Like, I don't know, just if a film director is great, like it doesn't matter. Like this guy, The Witch, like Tarantino and Reservoir Dogs, Nicholas Winding Refn and The Pusher. It's like, even if you have a low budget, if you are that artistic,
I think it's a I don't know anything about making fucking movies.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I mean, on paper, yeah.
Yeah. But I think what it is, it's like it's a dedication to a vision.
Yeah.
So I have an idea, and even if when the idea is perfectly articulated, if it's shit, that just means I have to update my idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Perseverance.
Yeah. It's a I'm gonna make it look fucking amazing. And I've got an idea about what amazing looks like, and then when I perfectly articulate it, it might turn out shit. Well, that just means I've got to keep going.
It. Yeah.
Yeah,
not necessarily talent, but you just keep on pushing through.
There's talent. There's talent. There's definitely talent. Not everyone can do that. There is definitely
we
talent.
can't make a Reservoir Dogs or a The Witch or...
The talent
Sure.
is definitely one of the ingredients.
Yeah, I guess. And then you add talent into the perseverance, and
Yeah,
your Stanley Kubrick, your Martin Scorsese, your Quentin Tarantino. And we're stuck doing shitty YouTube reviews.
This is what we're doing.
God damn it, Jasper! Why aren't we talented or dedicated? Even one of them. Nah.
Well, fuck.
Thank you for watching. Really help out. If you guys like this, comment.